we go. Hello and welcome to Unexplained Possibilities Podcast. I'm your host, Melvin the Crimson Taurus, and alongside me today, finally after a while, is that dealer of mystic goods, Twitch streamer extraordinaire, and
Oh
still
God.
the happiest of sad girls, the third-eyed mystic herself, the ever so lovely Neima.
Hello, everyone.
She gets annoyed because of all the titles.
I do it to myself.
Yeah, you do. So, and I like poking you. So, and you keep adding them, I'll keep saying them. Now, alongside us for the ride and leaving the shadows of the behind the scenes and stepping into the light of darkness, the oh so enchanting Angie K.
Hi.
So, how are you ladies doing tonight?
Good.
Only good.
Tired.
Okay.
Good.
Good, tired, okay. All right, that works. Why are you tired, man? What, were you in one of your cage fights again?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. Partying, you know.
Oh, okay. Oh, my mail just came. So, perfect timing. And Angie, where you are, it's like, what, 3 a.m.?
Yes.
And you look fabulous.
Thank you, but I have my doubts about it, but okay, thank you.
Well, I mean, come on, man. Take the compliment. Can't you just say, yeah, I look good?
Yeah,
And
I
snap your
told
fingers or
you,
something?
I said thank you. I mean, I took the compliments.
I'm not sure you took it well. I said,
No, I did.
I don't think so. Neima, did she take it well?
Not well, but I take compliments the same way.
Oh, okay.
I'm just like, I don't know about that, but okay.
Okay.
Okay, so at least you understand the feeling.
Yeah.
All right. So today is just a casual, easygoing hangout, yapping about magic show. Next month, however, we're getting back into the hardcore, nitty gritty, down and dirty, nasty talks. That came out kind of wrong, but we'll go with it. No, but next month we do have some things planned, so hopefully you guys enjoy that. But before we really start yapping about whatever, uh, we had a giveaway earlier in the week, and who won that? Jenny, yes, Jenny, who comes in and yaps along with us. She won a free tarot reading by me, but there's stipulations on that. I'll tell you in a second. And she won whatever she wants from Angie, which is pretty cool. Angie, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel okay. I am looking forward what she gives me, what type of order, you know.
And the reason why it's stipulations on the tarot reading for me is because I know Jenny personally, and I already give her reading, so it's like, well, isn't fair to everyone else. So we had another winner, and that was Dark Caliber, and yeah, he gets a free reading from me. I never given him one before, so it worked out. However, we're gonna do another giveaway, but we're skipping 400. We're going all the way to 500. And I didn't tell Neima this, but she will come to your house and cook you whatever meal you want, wearing short shorts and a skimpy top. So
What? What?
So, you guys want that? Get us to 500.
Just watch it. Tomorrow when you log in, you will have like 600 subscribers.
Well,
I'm not against it.
yeah. So, be prepared for that, guys. So, Neima, good luck. Hope you cook good.
Yep, macaroni and cheese.
Hey, mac and cheese can be pretty freaking good, if done correctly. Angie and I, we made mac and cheese. I was telling her how to make it, and I think hers came out pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the taste was good. Everything else was not so well.
Well, mine's was freaking delicious. But
Yeah, because I am not a big fan of mac and cheese, so
awkward moment of silence. It
Yeah.
was just one of those moments where
yeah.
it's like, huh, I don't know how to feel right now. I used to like it, but
You are a monster. You don't like mac and cheese.
so all right, let's get into some magic talk. So magic, what is it? Neima, go.
What is it? I feel like when you say magic, I think of like omens and synchronicity and just weird coincidences, stuff like that.
Mm, okay, and Angie, what's magic to you?
I think for me, magic is more about herbs and nature and brewing concoctions, healing people or cursing people, that sort of
Well, we know
things.
about curses at the moment. Um, and for me, I guess I look at it more down the sorcery route where you're creating and manipulating and destroying to a degree. So it's very interesting that we all have a different perspective on it. And but that's a good thing though, because that also means we would be doing different stuff. Unfortunately, I'm selfish and greedy, so I see magic as self-serving. Where you guys may not. What do you think about that? Should what we call magic be something that's self-serving if you're capable of doing it, or is it something that should be shared amongst everyone?
What do you, I'm like trying to understand, like kept to oneself
Yeah,
or like
so
shared?
self-serving meaning I have the
Oh,
ability to turn a random piece of paper into money. I could share that with others, but I don't want to. I'm keeping it for myself.
hmm.
So, do you think magic like that should be shared, or should it be kept to oneself? Because if it's shared, then everyone wants a piece of it. But then, of course, if you keep it to yourself, it's like, look at you, you stingy prick. So, what do you think, Niyama?
I think it should be definitely shared. I think the timeline of everything, right? It was more like if you knew about it, you knew, and that's how secret societies were formed, and they kind of didn't want to share the magic. But definitely it should be. I don't think people should be greedy with it, no.
And that's interesting about the secret societies because they did not share their knowledge. You had to be worthy of such knowledge. And
Hmm.
what makes a person worthy? How does that, how do you even go about that? What makes someone worthy and someone else unworthy? But mhm.
Yeah, I think it's like, when I was reading some of the Hermetic books and stuff like that, it's a huge commitment practicing magic and being in a specific, like your magical practice. It's just like you have to know a lot and you have to do it every day. So I think that I get that.
Yeah, well, it's a part of you. That's what it is. It is you. It's a part of you. It's no longer a tool, but it is you. So it's your life like breathing. So yeah, it makes sense with that type of commitment. But Angie, what do you think?
Well, I definitely agree with Niema that it should be shared because, yes, of course, at the beginning, I don't see a problem to keep it for yourself, to practice on yourself, to help yourself for certain level of abundance and everything. However, if you do not want like your ego to totally take over, I think definitely you should be like very generous to the point with the other people. And I'm not saying that you should just stop for free, but you should have that feeling, like, oh yeah, I'm helping others and I'm sharing it with the world because I have the ability to do so. So I definitely not sure how I feel about you saying you would just keep it for yourself, like I don't know, like a freaking
Scrooge.
yes.
Well, it's the truth. I would keep it to myself. It's mine. It's not your. You find your way. I did it my way because that's how I see it. I think yeah, some magic can be shared and should be, like if you're into the healing arts or if you are there for protection, which funnily enough, I something hit me today while I was in the throne room, not doing number 1 or number 2. I was actually shaving and something clicked. And it was like, huh. And I love the throne room. Great place for thinking. Everyone should think in there. But anyway, I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, like when it comes to healing or protection or things of that nature, yeah, I can see you wanting to share and sharing being good because there's a lot of illnesses out there, people who can't afford traditional medicine and all of that. I get that. But when it comes to things like money or trying to get doors open, just things that are already self serving, I say it should stay self serving. I think that's the purpose it was intended for, and that should remain its purpose. Because no matter what, you can't open the door for someone else, and even if you can, it doesn't mean they're going to walk through, and then you're just going to get PO'd if they don't go through it.
Well, I don't think you are going to be PO'd. It's going to be the person because, after all, yes, you can, with magic, you can create the, uh, how to say it? Okay, you can pretty much prepare the grounds for the chances or for something to open, so you can create that perfect grounds for the person to get a new job, or get the money, win the lottery or whatever. However, if the person simply isn't ready for such thing, then unfortunately it's not going to work, and it's not your fault, it's a fault of the person.
Hmm.
I'm not so sure because if they come to you, evidently they feel ready, and because this is
The,
well, no, if they come to you, evidently they feel ready, and oh, sorry, trying to multitask and it's just not in me. My brain fires on one cylinder at a time. Why am I forcing two? Um, but if you're going to someone, evidently you feel ready, and
you feel ready, but it doesn't mean that you are ready. That you are ready to take all the steps, all the effort that is needed. Because yes, as many other people on this show said, for example, yes, you can make a ritual for someone to, again, let's use the example with a new job. Okay, so you can do the ritual, you can do the magic, everything worked well. However, if the person is lazy ass, and they are not going to send out applications, or they are not going to do anything for it, simply the new job offer isn't going to fall from the sky. You need to put that effort there, and there is a lot of people, and I know it from my personal experience because I was there. I thought that I am ready for something, but it turned out that I am not, or I was not. I
oh,
mean, it's completely normal.
sorry, got an eyelash. It decided to fall. Um, but you see, and that's where I'm getting at to where I would be annoyed because now I'm using my time, my energy, my efforts, and you didn't go through with this. Like, I would be
Hmm.
annoyed because I'm trying to help you better yourself, and you come to me and you say, like, I feel ready, I am ready, even if you may not be, at least show some effort into it. And that would be enough. Just a little bit of effort, even if it doesn't work out. But when you don't do that, then it's like, fine, do it yourself. That's just how I feel. But Neima, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, I was going to ask you, so you would feel like your time was being wasted,
Oh
like
yeah.
trying to help that person?
Yeah. And sometimes I get that way with tarot. I should not say that aloud, but sometimes,
Really?
yeah, because you take time out of your day, and it comes from a place of actually wanting to help, and
Yeah.
you get so annoyed because you repeat yourself, and you can see that the person is not doing what they're supposed to be doing or what you tell them to do, and it's like, no, just do this and you're straight. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
But they will not do it, and it's like, at this point, I'm just wasting my time, my energy. You're wasting your time because you clearly don't want this, even though you keep telling yourself you do, but you don't. And
Hmm.
it's one of those type of things. It becomes just a giant waste of time.
Hmm. I can see that. I was just curious because I'm like, oh, is that he? I feel like you're taking it very personal, but then how could you not? If it's like a student that you're trying to assist in their life and give them pointers, and then they're just upset all the time that it's not working,
Yeah, it's
or
like,
they're not doing their part. So,
but then saying that too, there are times where circumstances, like, it won't allow me to push on. I'm trying, it just won't allow me. But in that case, it's understandable. It's like, oh, don't worry, you'll get there. We'll
mm-hmm.
be positive. But other times, yeah, like, it's I'll give an example of a client. I will not say their name or anything, but um, I did readings for them, at least 15 readings, and pretty much I said the same thing each reading, and I would get a call at freaking midnight to 1 a.m. and it's like, oh God, here we go again. And just repeating myself. And I really wanted to help them. It came from a place of caring, but they would not do what I kept telling them. Like, this is what you should be doing. This is what I see you should do. Like, but you're not doing it. Do you even care? They say they would care, but I do not know if they truly cared, because they wouldn't keep doing what they were doing. I mean, essentially, it was bordering on abuse at that point. And then my mental sanity started to go away to where I'm like, all right, I got to stop now.
Hmm.
So, yeah, when it comes to certain things, yeah, I'm fine with it being self-serving. I see absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
Angie wants to kick me in the balls.
No, I definitely want to add something. Like, it's not the easiest thing to do to suddenly change your lifestyle, especially if you have like anxiety or depression or some other hidden problems. For example, I gave you lots of readings, and I don't think you changed stuff. You said like, oh yeah, I definitely understand, I'm going to change it, but me personally, I don't see it.
Mhm.
So from my perspective, I don't think that you are changing. But if I tell you, like, Melvin, I don't think you are taking the readings to the heart, you will tell me, yes, I am, but I know that you are not, for example. So it's like a very double-edged sword. Like, you imagine it differently as I imagine it. For me, the change looks different than for you.
Mhm.
So I
Hmm.
think you should take into consideration also the capacity or ability of the other person, what they can do at the given moment.
Yeah, and
Hmm.
hello, Mr. Malice, welcome. And he's saying that you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You have to evaluate the cost to benefit to what it is you are doing, and if the benefit doesn't outweigh the work put in, let it go, in my opinion. And he follows up by saying they care, but they are not ready to make the move into what it is they need to do. And it is
Yeah,
at that
exactly.
point you need to leave people to their own devices.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Malice, you win the internet. You got the women agreeing, so you know. Um, but yeah, it is interesting because perception, perspective, I should say, it definitely plays a role in it because you know, I guess we have to ask what is change. Do we see change on a physical level or spiritual level, mental level? If you change mentally or inwardly, does it necessarily mean you'll change outwardly? Or,
Yes, you will.
well, I don't think so.
Eventually.
I'm
Yes,
Eventually.
exactly. Eventually, yes, it's a long process, but if you want to move on a physical level, then you have to make a huge change internally. And I'm not speaking only about like spirituality. I am talking about the mental health and your traumas or basically your mindset, you know?
I'm not so
Yeah.
sure. I'm not so
I
sure.
would agree with that though.
I
Because like therapy is like that, you know? You think it takes forever and you feel like you're not moving forward, but those small steps help. And you eventually start to see a difference, but it's a long process.
You see, I think you can change mentally or inside with
Mm-hmm.
keeping the same physical exterior. I don't think one necessarily um, goes hand in hand with the other. I think internally you can be as happy as a clam, but you might look like a killer on the outside, even though you're happy as a clam. And
Okay, but you are talking about the physical appearance.
yeah, the physical appearance and a few other things. Yeah,
But it has nothing to do with the physical appearance. I mean, if someone is beautiful, if someone is not so attractive, you will stay that way. Your mental health isn't going to change that. However, you will change, for example, your self-esteem is going to be bigger. You will be more approachable by other people, like it isn't going to change your physical shell, but everything else is going to change. You will be okay, so perhaps I can go outside, I can mingle with other people, and it doesn't necessarily mean that suddenly you will become like an Adonis or something.
okay, so I somewhat misunderstood that, but yeah, I agree with that aspect. I thought you meant actual physical change of a
No,
person.
no, 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 no. Mm-mm.
Okay, so well, I can't argue that. I agree with it to a degree. To a degree.
Of course.
Well, yeah, well, to a degree because you still have you're still going to be caught up in your ways, and there are habits that no matter what you can't break. Like for instance, I happen to be very antisocial. I can be a very happy person. I could have the highest self-esteem in the world, but I don't want to talk to people or be around them. That's just how I am. But still mentally I'm a-okay. It's just I'm antisocial. I like being in solitude. So I think to a certain degree, yeah, you can have a higher self-esteem, but that doesn't necessarily mean a social aspect or other aspects would change as well. I think some things are just cemented in you regardless.
Yeah, but of course, but if you are, okay, so you are antisocial, and I'm not saying that if you are feeling better, you will immediately go like, let's get party. I mean, no, you won't do that, but you are happy. and so it will help you in other way. You can stay antisocial, you can stay introverted, like that's your personality. It isn't going to completely change. However, it's going to help you to do something you would never think about before, like for example, okay, so you don't like people around, and before that you never think of, I don't know, let's say getting job in your local library or in an archive or something, and then suddenly it hits you like, hey, like I can earn money, I don't need to meet with people, so let's work here. You will just see things differently, and you will realize that there is lots of different options you can choose from, and just reach and grab it. It doesn't necessarily mean it will transform your whole personality like completely.
And hello, Marie. Welcome. And Mr. Malice also said, never sacrifice your balance to help others, especially if they are not in the right place to help them themselves. As you sacrifice your balance, your help, bit by bit, becomes less effective, even to yourself. So I'm going to steal that from you, Malice. So, and I will not credit you either. Um, so that's interesting too, because the transformation of oneself could be seen as magic as well. Um, what would you say that could, in a way, a magical transformation? I mean, we're not going Super Saiyan for my nerd people out there, but we do have a transformation, and sometimes it happens in an unexplainable way. Would you say that could be a type of magic?
Um,
We have dead air. Speak.
I'm like, do I consider it magic?
Uh oh.
Hmm,
I just hit something. Okay. More dead air.
I don't know. I want to say no, but yes.
Nope and
Yeah,
yes. Please explain that.
I don't know. I don't, um, I don't know, because I want to say, things that happen in life just cultivate you
Hmm.
into transforming into who you are. Um, but I don't know if I would consider that magical. I think that's just learning and developing as a human.
That's a good way of putting it. What do you think, Angie?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it magic either. I know that people in magic communities usually they deal with the shadow work and everything to help themselves, and to they learn to get to know their shadow self, but I think it's more psychological, and if you deal with your inner demons, in that case, I believe that you will allow yourself to do the actual magic. So because all those blockages are not helping you, so I think first you need to release that, and then you can grow also on a different spiritual level, I would say.
Speaking of shadow work, I do want to say that if you guys are interested in having a shadow reading, which I suppose you could look at it as the part of yourself or the information you need that's kind of buried down deep that you don't want to hear but you need to hear, definitely speak to Mr. Malice. He does shadow readings and he's pretty freaking good at them. So definitely
Hmm.
peep him out for that. Um,
Like few months ago, I actually tried shadow work on
mhm.
myself, or I don't know how to do it. It was just attempt to try it, and I was looking to the mirror, trying to contact my shadow self. And oh my God, that was insane. I didn't think. Sorry, I don't think I told you, Melvin,
Mm-mm.
but it was so freaking bizarre. Okay, so it was not scrying mirror or anything, but. I was looking in myself, in my reflection, and suddenly it was in the bathroom, and the whole room suddenly disappeared, and I was like in a void, or I don't know how to say it. Like there was nothing around me, and I was standing in front of myself. It was like so freaking bizarre. Like holy shit, like what's happening? And it was so funny because as the room was disappearing, it almost looked like I could see aura around myself in the mirror, like I could see these like giant lights coming emitting from my outline, and then suddenly bang, the bathroom disappeared, and I was in a complete darkness standing opposite of myself. And um and that was pretty much it. you know
Oh cow.
Nothing else happened, and I wasn't able to repeat the same thing again. So I was like, no, I don't have patience for it. Like, why you are not working? You worked before.
Um, yeah, that's intense. But you said a key word there. You were in the bathroom. The throne room yet again comes through. I'm telling you.
Well, because the bathroom is the darkest room I have,
Yeah, well, you can
and
say whatever you want. I'm telling you, the throne room, what it is a sanctuary. It's peaceful, and it's literally that. It's your room. So that's why it works. I'm telling you, anyone who does magic or they want to see within themselves, go in the throne room. I know it sounds weird, but man, that's where stuff happens. I'm telling you. Niema's gonna try it now. Watch, she's gonna go in there like, okay, let's.
I'm gonna have to. Now I have to go stare in the mirror.
Marie.
yeah, I mean, no wonder when you check the internet, you have those like the shower thoughts memes and everything like that, because the magic definitely happens in bathroom.
It does. Marie is saying that shadow work is deep work on yourself. You have to be prepared for what you find out about yourself. So, I would not be prepared for that because I would probably see a raging pervert. So, we don't need that. Angie
I
didn't
think
laugh. She's like, I know this is true.
No, I am no, I am just thinking only Melvin. What was that? Only Melvin can say such an awkward comment. you know.
Well, I mean, just saying, it's probably true. Like, look at you, Melvin. Yeah, I'm looking at me. You're a horn dog. Okay. So, but but that is interesting with shadow work though, and I had no idea you did that, Angie. You didn't tell me that at all. Um, Niema, have you ever done shadow work or had that deep thought?
I mean, deep thoughts, I have a lot of that, but shadow work specifically, like, no. I recently met this friend who it was weird. She posted something about how certain people haven't done shadow work, and it was referencing like body modification, like and she was trying to say like you haven't learned to like love those parts of yourself, or like that. I don't know what it was, but that made me think about it. I'm like, shadow work, huh? That's interesting, but I never really got into it. I'm unfamiliar.
You know what? Then perhaps. Ooh, I have an idea. So I think I'm going to give you two an assignment, and that is to perform shadow work on yourselves if you can, and actually journal it down and for a month. Maybe it'll be less than a month, but journal it down and come back and tell us what you think, what you feel, if it helped you find something that you didn't want to accept about yourself, or if it was nothing, it was just blank. I think that would be a good one. Then, would you guys be down for that?
Yeah.
And will you do that?
No, I don't do that. But you
Yeah.
two
So
so, and Malice over here, he said, if any of us go in the bathroom and say Bloody Mary in the mirror. Let them know if it works. So,
I did that a few times as a kid.
did it work?
No, we just got so scared and we just ran out all,
Okay.
but we never saw anything.
Actually, Bloody Mary might be a thought form at this point because of all the mental energy that we have given the urban legend of it. So you never know. She might actually pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun,
I
dun.
agree with that.
So and I've been saving this and I keep forgetting to ask, but I think this is a good way to ask. So with magic, as you guys probably know, there are two forms of magic, and this is usually how you know if someone's legit or not, is the spelling of magic. And sometimes they'll use a K, and then sometimes they won't. They'll just leave it magic with the C, or it might be CK. Depends on the person, of course. And Mal said that Bloody Mary's a really good drink, and he can't see it past a fun Friday. um, but I was reading up on Aleister Crowley and the Golden Dawn when it came to magic and spell work and all that stuff. And Aleister Crowley, he explained that he spelt magic with a K to separate it from the illusionist, the stage magic, which of course it is illusion, and most stage magicians are skeptics anyway. They don't actually believe in real magic, or at least not in the way that people want to believe that it exists, like Harry Potter and bibbidi bobbidi boo, all that good stuff. What do you think about that? The separating of the illusionary arts to the mystic arts. Who wants to take that? Cue that
Anita.
Jeopardy music.
Minute to process.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go, Angie.
Oh, okay. So for me, okay, again, English is not my first language, so in English, I can definitely see um, the separation of these two, like let's call it grammatically, like you add the additional letter, because definitely when you just say magic spelled with just the C, most people definitely will imagine like David Copperfield and all those celebrity type of illusionists. However, in my language, it doesn't really make any sort of difference, So when you say, we have like two different words. We have kuzelnik, and that's pretty much the illusionist.
Say that again.
And then we had kuzelnik.
Kuzelnik?
Kuzelnik, yes.
Kuzelnik.
And then we have mag, like magi or something, So there are two different words. They have slightly different meanings. So when you say kuzlo, it's usually illusionist type of art. When you say magia, it's magic, like the real
deal.
like witches, yes, and so on. So in my language, it doesn't really make such a big difference because those two terms are already separated. So I can see that why you guys in English, you tend to distinguish it by adding K at the end.
That does really explain it. I mean, yeah, magic, I just think of a performance art, and then the other one is more serious.
Yeah, and it's funny because it still takes years to perfect both crafts. It's not, you can do it overnight, but at the same time, when it comes to, in this case, the magic with the K, I do think that people put too much on it, but at the same time, it's what they feel works for them. And that's the funny thing about magic. We mold it to fit us, to shape us, and it's never the same for someone else. Why do you think that is?
Everyone has their own experience and wants to validate that experience with the specific magic or what they want to believe in or do, right?
Perhaps, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know, because I know a lot of people in the occult field, and I know that even though I lost all respect for quite a few of them, I do know that they are real with what they do. And I'm looking at them and I'm thinking to myself, I wouldn't do it that way. I would not do it like that. I think it's too complex, and I am a person who likes simplicity unless it's in certain stories, but that's something else. And I think we also get caught up in the fact that we believe that the more complex something is and articulate it is, the stronger it will become, and the more potent it is. When I personally don't think that's true. I think you start losing yourself in complexity, and I think you start getting away from what got you in it to begin with. But again, this could just be me, because how I'm molded, and if I were to do magic work, it's different from someone else. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I don't know. It's just an interesting thing about Angie. Go.
No, I think that's okay. I definitely understand it. I think that it depends on the person, like if you are going to simplify it or not. But I can definitely see, and I'm not sure if that's like the real reason why certain rituals are so complicated, or some people practice it in such a difficult way. But when you have like a long rituals, and for example you need to repeat like incantations and something, I think like it helps you to, okay, it makes you feel like, okay, I am doing something special, and you make yourself more open to receiving the information, or creating the magic basically. And also it helps you with the meditation, or getting into that, let's call it, how do you call it, a trance,
Okay.
yes. Yeah, or something like that, like for example if you repeat certain words over and over, if you need to do certain type of prescribed movements or something, I definitely think that it helps you to get rid of all those thoughts that can be interfering with what you are doing, so it's mostly, or in my opinion, it's mostly to do something to get rid of the thoughts of your personal life that can, like as I said, interfere with the magic you are creating.
um,
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. It gets you more zeroed in on what exactly
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to focus on.
well, you said an interesting thing there, though, about repeating certain words or phrases, and I'm not so sure it's the words or the phrases that hold the power. I think it's the intent. But going into um, an energy look at it, of course, if you say something enough, eventually you're going to believe it. If you do something enough, it becomes second nature. And I think if you say something that's supposed to be a magical incantation or whatever, like, I don't know, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be rich. Yes, yes, I'm a rich, and say the B word or something after that. Um, I believe it, in a weird way, it builds up energy, and you put it out there for it to return. I am a believer in what you put out comes back. But again, I do think it depends on intent as well. And I think some of the reason why so much repetition in spell work or doing magic, whatever you want to call it, is because you are little by little adding more and more energy to it and trying to make it become second nature to where you don't even think about it and it's almost like poof, there you go. I do think it turns into a mind over matter type of thing and creating or bringing in something into your reality. A better example would be this is probably actually not a better example. This would really hurt, but if you were to just if you just do that to your hand nonstop, of course it doesn't hurt, it doesn't do anything. It's why am I doing this? Whatever. But if you keep this up for hours and hours and hours, and even though this is just super weak, man, my hand would just feel god awful and it would be heavy, it would be swollen, it would just be ready to quit. But the thing is, it's that repetitiveness that builds into it and that power gradually comes and it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So that's why I think there is a repeating of certain words and incarnations to make it become second nature, to strengthen it and eventually explode out there and get you what you need. What is the drink of choice, Angie?
Water.
Oh, it looked pinkish. So, okay.
The glass is pink, you
Oh,
know.
okay. Neima, what's your drink of choice?
Coffee.
Yeah, at 6:48 p.m.
Yep.
So, but yeah. Anyway, that's what I think sometimes. But then going deeper than that, I think it's also about willpower and oh boy, this is gonna take some explaining. So I think there is the initial idea, and then there is the muscle that pushes that idea, the willpower. So of course you guys are familiar with speak it into existence, right? uh,
Yeah.
okay. So that's part of it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to come to you or it's even going to pop up and exist without the willpower behind it. And I think what happens is because everything is made of energy, I think with a strong enough willpower, you're actually manipulating the energies of the world, the galaxy, the universe, whatever you want to call it. And you
Unlimited power.
and you are creating and bringing it into reality. But then saying that perhaps it's already in this reality, you're just opening a doorway or a pathway for it to come to you, whether it be money, love, acceptance, whatever, recognition. Maybe that's what it is. But I do think all magic comes from the willpower and the intent of the person. On one half, because then on the other half we have deity magic, which we'll talk about in a second. But what do you think about that? Willpower enabling magic to be possible through manipulation of energy. Dead air.
No, I was waiting on Neima to
I don't know. I agree. I mean, I think it takes a lot of willpower to manifest things into existence. So, with magic, it's the same way.
Angie?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Yes, definitely you need to have a willpower, but in the same time, okay, so you said that the repetition of the certain words and so on, it can build up. However, if you don't believe those words you are saying, like the build-up isn't going to happen,
Yeah, well,
because it's going to be just the empty words you are going to glue together and creating this long chain of pretty much nothing.
well that
So
that's
from the
that's where I think the willpower comes in and the intent comes in, and also through repeating those words. I think that is why it has to become second nature for you, to where you do it without even thinking about it, because then you start actually believing. Of course, results would be nice as well. Then you'll really believe, but I think that's why it's so important to repeat certain things, and they go hand in hand, repeating it, believing in it, and getting it out there. What was that I put on my sigil, Angie? Oh God, what did I call it?
obtain something obtain.
Oh, this is gonna bug me because I can't remember. But all I know is that mess worked. So we'll say that. But, I think they go hand in hand. But I also think that you can do magic without repetition and through sheer intent and willpower alone. If it's something that you believe in and you want it enough,
I claim and I obtain.
yeah, there you go. Thank you. How did you get that up so quickly?
I mean,
Yeah,
I
show people
search
again,
it.
so I could suck up their energy. Show it again. Go, 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 go.
I closed it
Oh,
already.
God darn it, Angie.
Okay, just a moment. I'm going to find it again. Just give me a break.
But yeah, so I think it's interesting in that aspect. And yeah, I claim and I freaking obtain. Yes, people, you see that? Let me claim and obtain your energy. Give it to me, man. Yeah! So, uh, now on the second half of the magic, this is working with deities. Some people call them energy. Some people might call them gods, goddesses, demons, angels, devils, nature spirits. They have a lot of names, but ultimately people work with them and they are beyond this physical world. What do you think about working with beings that we don't really know but can help us claim and obtain what it is we desire?
Gosh, I've never done that before. I think, yeah, I don't think I necessarily, I don't want to say I don't believe in it, but it's definitely not a practice. I think how it works with me is if I see something, or like if a name comes to me and like it's a deity or whatever it is, I'll just research that deity and then take in what they can teach me. But I don't know the magic aspect of actually working with them to do stuff.
And hello, Morningstar. Welcome. We got Lucifer in the house. Darn it.
Nice.
Angie, what do you think?
Yeah. Um.
Well,
No. Okay. So you know that I am a big believer in all the gods, goddesses, and everything. I really believe, and I would really love to make a bigger contact with the different spirits and so on. And yeah, definitely I can see myself working with them more. Like that would be probably my type of magic, if to work with them and to, I don't know, Is it proper to say borrow their powers or borrow their magic? I don't think it is because they are just helping you. They are assisting you. So,
Yeah, you're not borrowing anything, but
yeah,
there is a partnership of sorts. I
yeah, exactly.
now, what about them working through you? Actually, this it kind of reminds me of Jin in some ways. Of course, with Jin, it's a bit different. Jin are interesting because they are supposed to actually be physical like us, but they're in another dimension of Earth. Like they're supposed to be above this one slightly, like 3 feet or something like that. I don't know. It's weird how it works out. But anyway, they were supposed to inherit this planet. However, God came and told them, "Nah, I changed my mind." And instead, man inherited this planet. There's also a alien connection here as well, but that'll be for another time. But yeah, so the Jinn were booted to a different parallel dimension of Earth, and they are PO'd about it. But their technology is like our technology, maybe slightly more advanced. They are physical, but they are also spiritual as well. They're more spiritually aware and attuned than we are, and they know how to cross dimensions. So when they cross dimensions, they come off as spiritual. They don't have that physical body like us when they're on this side. And then, of course, everyone knows the genie comes from Jinn. I'll give you 3 wishes, all that good stuff. But the thing is, very much like the monkey's claw, because they're so PO'd at us, they will pretend to work with you, or rather, they will work with you, but anything that you wish for or you want, it's altered in some way. You'll get it, but not how you intended. Like, I want $1 million. Done. You get $1 million, but it turns out, it was a shootout at a bank, and you just happen to be involved, and the money can't be used because a die pack was thrown in there and all that. It's very interesting because some of them, they just despise humanity. But though, where was I going with this? God darn it! I totally lost my
I have
train of
no
thought.
idea.
I was going somewhere huge with this. I swear I was. Well, okay. Anyway,
No, we
whatever.
were talking about the deities and that type of magic, and then you
I was
kind of
going
bridge it
somewhere
to
with
the
this.
gym.
I swear it was going somewhere. It was going to be huge, and I lost it. Oh no, I'll blame your pretty face. There we go. Jesus Christ. Um, God, I totally lost it. That is so annoying. Oh my gosh. Well, whatever. Anyway, yeah, I think you work in partnership with them, and you don't necessarily borrow their power. I don't.
Yeah, that was just my I didn't mean actually borrow, but just the language barrier.
So, why work with them?
Is that question for me?
Yeah.
I don't work with deities, so
No, no,
I
this
wouldn't
this was
know.
for Angie.
Okay.
Well, because they can teach you things. I think they can teach you something about yourself, show you something. So I definitely think that they would be teachers in certain aspect.
Okay, and and this is where we split on this because I don't know. I'm not the type of person. I know for a fact I couldn't work with them, and it's because of my own ego and my own thoughts. I'm sorry. I was looking at the chat real quick, and Malice chimed in pretty much like Melvin. Maybe you were going with, be careful with what and who you work with. Malice, I have no freaking idea. I totally lost that thought, but we'll go with that. And Morningstar says, always believe in what you are casting to harness the current around you. Um, but anyway, what I was saying is this is where Angie and I split off a lot in a good way. It's not necessarily bad, but I couldn't work with deities that people work with. For instance, Bonnie works with Belial, and she works with Azazel and a few other things. Angie has been visited by the general Florius. There we go, and the goddess the Morrigan, and someone that we're still not 100% sure on her identity, but we're getting there. And she's open to work with them, whereas me, on the other hand, I don't feel I need to work with deities, nor do I want to, and we couldn't work together because I feel that I am as equal, if not more, than them. And I think that is the viewpoint more people should have. I won't say that we are all gods or goddesses and all that happy mess, but I will say that we are creators, and we are able to create and manipulate and all that fun stuff. It's just we limit ourselves. And I feel that sometimes working with deities or whatever, you're still limiting yourself because you are working in a partnership with something beyond us and this physical body at that moment. And I just think it limits us to a degree. There's exceptions to every rules, and this is just my personal thinking. I don't know if it's true or not, but I know for myself, I couldn't do it because it's like I can, like, no, I'm a god myself. I'm not a god, but I'm a god myself, and I don't need help doing this. I mean, I need to stop being lazy and do it, but I don't need help doing it. I don't want to pay for the services, because I do think there is payment involved, and I rather give that energy to myself and make it happen.
But you have like a very bizarre understanding what partnership is, because in one hand you are saying that yes, there is a partnership. On the other hand, you basically describing you don't want to bow your head,
Well,
like no,
because
I am not your leash. I mean, they are, not leash. They are your leash.
even
But
though it is a partnership, yeah, you are still they do want offerings. Uh, oh shoot. Oh, okay. Um, Neima, this is a message specifically for you.
Great.
And this is from Mr. Malice, and he said that Neima, this may come off as strange, but Baphomet wants to work with you. He has something for you that may
God.
help with the emptiness. No idea what that is, just what is being said. And
Oh, nice.
yeah. Huh.
Baphomet? Is that what he said?
Uh-huh. Baphomet.
Okay.
So that's interesting. That came out of nowhere. So, so,
yeah, I can see the dread in your eyes, Neima.
yeah, she's gonna,
No, I find it interesting. I'm like, emptiness, you say.
yeah. So, and
It's a good description.
Morningstar is saying gnosis. John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, oneness, and consciousness. We have always been, the Word was with God, and the Word was God. We are gods and goddesses. The Word became flesh. We have lived many lives. Essentially saying that, we're, I guess I'm oversimplifying it, but we are gods, goddesses, living a physical life for whatever reason. And but what I was getting at, Angie, was yes, it is a partnership, but you still have to offer something. I don't think their
Yeah,
services
but for
come
me,
free.
it's I'm not saying that it's just for okay. If you work with your guides, then yes, okay, and those guides may happen to be like well-known deities, but how I see it, okay, it's a partnership, but since I see the magic and working with the deities as some sort of way how to gain a knowledge, it's for me it's a study or gaining the knowledge. So I definitely see it more like student teacher type of relationships. Yes, we are partners in crime, and one is teacher and one is student. So I know that I have to respect my teacher and my teacher respects me because they are giving me the knowledge,
And
so there is a nice balance. And I know that now you are going to say something about I hate school, I hate
I was
teachers,
not.
and I can't imagine this sort of relationship. But definitely for me, I think it's like this: they're going to teach you something, and yes, you're going to pay them back. It's like, yeah, at the end of the school year you will buy your teacher a freaking flowers, or you will give them a gift. At least that's what's happening in my country.
Oh my
Usually,
gosh! You're killing me, Angie. You're killing me.
I mean, at the end, it's always nice at the end of the school year. Usually, all the kids bring flower to their homeroom teacher,
You know what I did with
So,
flowers? I brought flowers to a girl I liked, and she stepped on them. I didn't give them to the teacher, so I would never, I could not imagine giving a teacher flowers. I just, what kind of school?
I mean, it's
I
just
just
it's just
can't.
the classic tradition over
Oh my
here.
gosh! I
So,
got to get over there and change that tradition. Well, no, it just means that you probably have decent teachers, so not a bad thing.
no, no,
Well, oh, they
that's
definitely
not
wouldn't get
true.
anything from me. What is wrong with you people? Um, but no, you see, I think that we have the answers in us. I think we don't need teachers. I really don't think that. I I also think that sometimes we put too much on these spirits and energies and all of that. I really do, and I think we give them too much power, and instead of keeping it for ourselves, going back to the self-serving notion of what I believe in, I do think we give them too much, and I've seen this firsthand to where if you don't do what they say, then sometimes you get punished, and that's ridiculous. So yeah, it's a partnership, but at the same time, it's also yeah, like you just said. I'm gonna use your words. An apprentice and the master, and I don't mean the master as in whipping the whip or slavery or nothing like that. But think of it like Star Wars people. But oh, hi, sweet pea. But I just feel that it molds you to do things a certain way. And
Yes, but do you see the spirit as something, because there is a difference how you see them. Because I remember I read this one book, and it was about how the consciousness developed in the people, and pretty much the consciousness is just like a sub level of ego. Or it was very interesting psychological concept, and I know that it's not very popular among the psychologists. And it was like, okay, so the consciousness developed as a form, when the society was changing, the formation of the society, and people started to go from the gatherers to the farmers and everything. And they started to feel that, okay, I need to possess, I need to have my personal ownership of something.
mhm.
And this kind of developed together with the ego. And before, when we had the first civilization, who were the gatherers, they lived together with the nature and all that good stuff. Pretty much we were all, as you said, like we are the god, we are the goddesses, or someone in the chat said it. Yes, I understand that, because before we developed all those mental barriers, I'm pretty sure that we could like coexist with everyone. You could hear the voice in your head, just that told you, okay, just gather this herb, it's going to, I don't know, help you with the tummy issues. Don't eat that freaking berry because you are going to die in agony. So it was like you were speaking with the deities or spirits and so on, but you were not realizing it. You got all that information, you tapped into that information field, and you got all that knowledge, all everything, but you didn't necessarily think like, oh, okay, that was God talking to me. You just, for you, it was just a natural thing. It was like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, so I don't need to analyze like who the hell is speaking with me. You just took it, like, oh, okay, that's a pretty good advice, I'm going to do it. So right now, as our mind is built, and we have so many obstacles in our heads, we put so many labels on stuff, that right now when I tell you that I want to work with deities, you think that you see it in a very complicated way, and I am talking more about the simplified version, that pretty much you will not do as they command, but you will see it as a natural part of your life.
Uh-oh.
Hmm.
Camera is gone.
Yeah, I'll try and fix it. God darn
That
it.
explains it in a really good way. I didn't think about it like that. But
Yeah, you two keep yapping while I try and fix this.
yeah, I
Yeah,
just
so
think that's a really good way of thinking about it. That explains it kind of.
and there were also types of like murals and stuff like that from Asian Babylonia and all these old cultures, and you could see like how it was almost like a time frame or something, and you could see all those different murals depicting interaction between gods and humans, and pretty much at the beginning you could see them as equals. There were two people standing and interacting together, but one of them was, for example, they had more like fancier clothes or something, and it was the god. And then you had something changed a few hundred years later or 1,000 years later. You had the depiction of God, who was sitting on the throne, and the person was standing somewhere a little bit below, that, so suddenly there was a division. And then like the third stage was that, yes, the God was this giant, very important person, and the people were just bowing, like suddenly something happened, and the natural balance was completely destroyed. And from this, you had like this, like, you are a freaking worm, just kneel before me,
Well, now, using that
Hmm.
example, that just makes me feel like I am 100% correct and I am equal to said gods, and I don't need them to.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But,
saying. Like, for
but,
me, the partnership is being equal.
well, now, and
You
for
just
for
see.
me, how I see it is you not being exactly equal. It's a partnership, but you do what they tell you to do, and you give them some type of offering in return, or else I'm going to get mad and shove a lightning bolt up your butt. You know that.
It's not offering, it's just you just,
Oh, it's
you know
always an offering, Angie. Like,
I mean, yes, it's offering, but do you do it because you must, or because you want?
I
That's the
think,
difference. I'm going to give them because I feel like it. Okay, I appreciate you. This is a gift for
you
you.
see, you're looking at it in a way out of respect, but you're not using their services. If you're using their services, then no, you better give. Like, I believe that yes, you have to give. If you want to learn from them, you're not necessarily using them to create a magic spell. You're not sending a hex, but you're doing it for scholarly. What is this word? Someone say this word that I can't say. Scholarly reasons. Is that even it? I don't know.
Scholarly.
Scholarly reasons, whatever. Um, which is a bit different. It is a bit different, and you're saying thanks for teaching me. I get that. But what I am talking about is using them, again, even though you're in a partnership, you're still using them to create some type of magic to manipulate something in the world that should not necessarily be manipulated, and you pay for those services. And I don't think it's necessary to use them for that. And I wouldn't. And I think they will have you do it their way and not allow you to break that way. As a matter of fact, breaking out of the traditional way of doing it could cause more problems, especially, for instance, if you are if you practice voodoo, and you want to speak to Papa Legba, you better do everything right, even if you're not wanting his services for, I don't know, for to open the gates to speak to. I'm trying to think of the name, Eruda or somebody. It. Oh, okay. Sorry, I just read a comment. I'll get to it in 1 second. Because even if you're trying to give thanks to Papa Legba, if you get his colors wrong, if you get the wrong candles, if you do something wrong, and it could be small and unintentional, you might reach Kaifu. You don't want that. And you have to be specific with it. So even if it's in a scholarly way, you still have to do things right and their way. And I don't agree with that. Like, I don't want to do it. I want to do it my way because it's me. It's not their life. I don't want to be controlled, and I want my freedom. I want to see myself, and I feel myself as an equal and not as someone who can learn from me, which I admit you can't. You can learn from everything, any and everything. You can do that, but I don't want strings attached to it. I don't. There's a reason why the Morrigan said, no, I can't work with Melvin. I mean, you remember that, Angie. So there's a reason why, even if.
Yeah, and
So,
sorry, I just want to add that okay, you are speaking specifically about like okay, you need something and you call upon that spirit, that deity to help you out with it. My perspective is more like okay, they will reach out to you. They will suddenly pop up like, oh hey, I would like to work with you, like Niema right now. Baphomet
yeah.
wants to work with her. Like it's like they will reach out first. This is um, my way of doing things. Like they will reach out because I am yes, as you said, I am a little bit scared, and I would love to do that, but I am afraid to do it on my own without guidance, to reach out to somebody first, because as you said, yes, I am afraid that I will accidentally do something that will piss them off, or that I will do something wrong and they will be angry at me, or I will get an attachment, and so on. So, and yes, so I agree with that. If we speak about I am the initiator of the communication. However, if they come first, then I am more like teacher student type of partnership, which is almost equal, but it is, and then at the same time you have to respect your teacher.
Well, that is just naturally impossible for me to do. But I can't agree with that either, because even if they come to, yeah, they take an interest in you for whatever reason, but you still have to do things their way. And it's like, hold up, you came to me and I still have to do it your way. There, what?
No, the focus of the camera was off, so I just
Oh.
repaired it.
But yeah, you came to me and I still have to do it your way, and I have an issue with that. It's like, if you come to me, then you're doing it my way, buddy. Like, I'm sorry. Again, this is why the Morgan said I'm not working with you, because she'd end up blowing me up. Did you guys just hear something?
Niema wanted to say something.
Is that usually how all deities work? Like they expect things from you?
No, I don't think
Or
all of.
like deals and stuff? I
No,
never.
I don't think that. I don't think all of them expect something from you, but I do think they expect you saying thanks. I do think they expect gratitude, but I don't think
Mhm.
all of them expect you to go sacrifice a goat or something. I don't think that.
You see, because
Right.
that's what you are describing.
Well,
That's why Niema asked you that question, because the way you describe it is very crude, you
well,
know?
I suppose it depends because again, and then saying that it depends on the individual entity and their personality and what their intent is. Um, but I do think that after a certain period, if you don't show some type of gratitude, then and that's the thing. I think they all expect gratitude in some way. I do think that then they expect something.
But gratitude can be expressed in so many ways. You can, okay, yes, give them offering, like you will give them, I don't know, something sweet or a tobacco or whatever, or but you can also give them, I don't know, you will tell them like, okay, you helped me. I know that you want me to do this and that. So I will go, I don't know, jogging every other day. You know, because they want you to change some habits. So you are going to, your gratitude is going to be the actual change of your life for the better.
I think you're
Hmm.
romanticizing it. I don't know if it's like that. Because
Because I know that people who, for example, works with the Morrigan, uh, okay, she's no longer around me, but I've read some forums and everything, and I know that she is very, okay, she does like to be offered things, you know, and to be appreciated quite a lot. However, the appreciation differs so much. Like some people, like the only thing they do is feeding the crows, for example, you know, or planting a tree or something, and that's enough. So I pretty much think that it's they realize that certain people cannot offer certain things, you know, like they understand that, okay, this person cannot give me, let's say, a freaking lamb, you know, they are not going to sacrifice the animal for me, but they can tend and take care of their garden, and so that's enough for me because that person is going to give a lot of energy into it. So I think it differs, but then again, I do not have experience to say this is exact. Oh, here it is, Niema's demon cat.
I'm a demon cat.
Yeah. Yeah, so I do not have enough experience to say that I am 100% right or wrong, but this is how I see it.
and I see it as I don't know. I just see it as a bowing down to a degree, and I don't want to bow down. It's just that simple. like
You know, but are you bowing down in front of your guides?
I think that's a total different aspect when it comes to the guides, the beings that are your guides. I think with that, it is 100% equal, and they don't have a
Ah, here he is.
yeah, they don't have a real say. Oh, butthole in front of the
But
camera. That was smart. I don't think they have a real say. I don't think they're going to do anything too extreme or something. Like maybe to try and get you out of a bad situation. Like Bonnie said, one of her guides slapped her upside the head to get her out of there. Like, get out, stupid. But but I think it's that's a different way of viewing things. I think however we meet them and whatever agreement we come into, it's
Oh my God, he is so beautiful.
it's separate from what we do with someone or something that is considered a god or a goddess or some type of energy like that we go to of our own free will, or it might take interest in us and come to us of its own free will.
And Neima, isn't he too hairy for a sphinx?
He's a Devon Rex, so they're supposed to have curly hair.
Oh, okay.
Distracted. The cat's distracting the podcast. Sorry.
Oh no, that's okay, because we're actually going to wrap it up, and I think we're going to have a part 2 on this in the future. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I feel like it needs to be talked about more, for sure.
And in the comments, Morningstar says, there is a give and take in everything, just as in nature. And Marie says, I agree with Angie. And yes, Morningstar, there is give and take in everything. And Angie, he says to you, so true, an offering of fruits and etc. So, whatever it is makes it work. So, essentially, I'm a god. You guys don't know what you're talking about. Bow down to me and only me. But in all seriousness, yeah, I see your point. I don't agree with it, but I see your point. And yeah, I think, unfortunately, it takes being what we truly are to a degree. I think we are creators and we've forgotten how to create. Now, that's not saying that maybe some of them want to help us get to that point with a little payment. But I think that's something we need to do on our own to get back to where we once were, where our ancestors once were, where we were gods and we walked amongst other gods. Hey, I don't need luck. I told you, that's just how I feel. I can't explain it. It's just something you either feel it or you don't. And unfortunately, sometimes people take it the wrong way, and they're like, "Oh, you're just a wiener." It's like, no, I swear I'm not. I really feel this way. Like I feel that it's more, that we are more than what we limit ourselves to, and we very much limit ourselves. And I don't want to do that. But like I said, we'll have a part 2 to this. And Neima, any closing words?
No.
Okay, well, if anyone wanted to check you out, where would they go?
Well, I just redesigned my website, so it's all at mysticdealer.com. That's the bookshop, but I'm not going to debut anything until right before the holidays. Okay. So keep checking back.
Angie, what about you?
There is nothing.
Yes, there is. Which is Broomstick?
Oh yeah, okay, but it's like the site together for you and me, so it doesn't.
Just advertise it.
No, I don't feel a need to advertise it at the moment. So.
Okay, I guess I will advertise it. Thank you guys for joining us in chat. Marie, Morningstar, Mr. Malice, whoever was lurking. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed the discussion. And even if you didn't, I still hope you enjoyed not liking it. But remember to share and hit that like button regardless. Unless you don't want to, but you will do it. And let's see, how should I close this out? Oh, yes. Don't forget to follow Unexplained Possibilities on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram. And be sure to check out www.thewitchesbroomstick.com. And there you can book a reading with myself or with Angie, not to mention you can order some custom made things from her as well. And Angie is really good at what she does. I'm not just saying that. She's actually quite talented, and it's annoying because I can't even draw a stick figure, and she makes her sigil out of clay. Upsetting. Anyway, with that said, thank you all again for watching and joining. And remember, guys, there are things that go bump in the night. Go ahead and tell them hi. Bye, everybody.
Bye.